Hi, I'm Dr. Daniel Friedland. I'm the CEO of Super Smart Health and I'm the author of Leading Well From Within. And I'm so excited to begin this series of videos with you, just really talking about what it means to lead well from within. And in doing so, how we can go about leading well by learning how to better navigate stress and thrive in our lives and focus on what's really truly meaningful and how we can make a bigger difference in the lives of others. And in this first video, what I wanted to talk about is really just this big concept around, do you feel like you're living in threat or you're living in challenge? So let me just share with you what I mean by that. And last night I had an experience with my youngest son Dole, and he's 12 years old, and it was getting late at night, and he had run late on his homework, and he was getting really stressed. And I went in to speak to him in his room, and he was watching YouTube videos, and so I spoke to him about that he needs to get his homework done, and that led to actually heightening his stress, and he got into a place where he very quickly became overwhelmed and went into this threat. And when you go into threat, we go into kind of this fight and flight response, and so he shut down. And so we spoke about this, and first of all, he was overwhelmed. We went to dinner, and first thing I knew is that he was in this place where he was so overwhelmed that he couldn't really concentrate and he needed food. He wasn't, he didn't have enough fuel in his brain. And so we spent some time speaking about how we could make his homework, his math problem, fun, and how we could make it a challenge. And there was a puzzle, and so it started to lighten the mood, and then we just broke the problems down step by step, just helping him unpack and feel reassured that he could have the internal resources to meet this demand at hand. And very soon he was able to lean in, and by the end of dinner we were having a lot of fun about engaging the problems and solving them, and he was feeling a lot lighter. And then I came away, actually sleeping on it last night, just really thinking about it. This is really no different from how many leaders, whether you're leading in business or you're a healer or you're a parent, coach or teacher, whatever frame you're leading in, how we navigate through our days engaging in either in threat or challenge. And what I mean by that is that anything that faces us, we could feel overwhelmed by and spiral into feeling anxious, overwhelmed, agitated, and grit our teeth and bear and get through it. Or we could lean in with a sense of adventure and say, okay, how can I take this on? Or bring it on, let's go. And so in the science around this, there is a formula that dictates whether or not we're going to be able to lean into a challenge or whether or not we're going to feel threatened by our circumstances. And the formula is, how do the resources we have meet the demands we're exposed to at hand? And so if our demands outstrip our resources, then we're going to flip into threat. On the other hand, if we feel that our resources exceed our demands, then we can lean in and enjoy the challenge and adventure of whatever we're engaged in. And so you're really unpacking what happened with last night when he found his homework, and it was like 7 o'clock at night and he was already feeling tired. His homework to him last night felt like a massive demand. And then he didn't have the confidence to actually engage the problems. He didn't feel like he had the resources. And perhaps also when I was being quite stern with him, he was feeling that he didn't have my support as an external resource to help him meet those demands. And then over dinner, we actually took those demands of the homework and we converted the demand, the onerous, burdensome homework, and we converted that into a challenge by making it a fun game. And then by breaking this down bit by bit into kind of understanding the processes that he needed to actually engage in to do this math challenge, and him feeling my love and support, he was able to increase his resources. And by the end of the evening, we were having a lot of fun in meeting the challenge at hand. He even commented, this is just like doing a riddle, or kind of even like, if you love to do crossword puzzles, it's engaging with that kind of fun in meeting those challenges. And this goes for the same for any kind of work that we're engaged in, you know, whether you're faced with massive deadlines, or you're looking to expand your business, or you're looking to navigate through strategic priorities with your team. It's how do you lean in to those so-called demands? Are they truly demands where you feel totally overwhelmed by your ability to cope, and so you flip into threat, which then depletes, ironically, your internal resources, because now you're feeling stressed, and you're feeling stressed about being stressed, and so you're feeling depleted to actually meet those demands, making it even more difficult to surmount them? Or are you able to look at your demand as a challenge and then take the stress you're feeling, and then, interesting enough, leverage the stress you're feeling, not, you know, navigating your stress as being kind of the enemy, or I need to control my stress or manage my stress, but actually seeing that the stress as an energy source, if anything, as a resource that you could leverage to meet those challenges. And then trusting yourself, really fundamentally trusting yourself that you can actually take your time and understand the processes and systems that are needed, to understand the external resources that you can gather to meet those challenges, and to game it, to really have fun gaming it, to enjoy this notion that really, in the larger scheme of things, ultimately life is an adventure to be explored and to be savored, so that we can actually take almost anything we're engaged in and really thinking through, in summary, this formula of resources and demands, where you can actually learn how to manage your demands, reframe your demands as challenges, and to learn how you can tap into, whether it be your stress, your internal sources of wisdom, your systems, processes, marshalling external reserves, to tip your resources so you can meet any of these challenges and really thrive more fully in your life. So hopefully this vignette has been helpful to you, and I so look forward to sharing more with you in this theme of how you can lead well from within, so you could lead well and make a great and even greater difference in the world today.